Good evening, and welcome to the Thursday Camera Artist Guild Critique. I am your host, George DeLoache. I'm a portrait artist and photographer's coach, and this is where we help photographers learn to master the photographic arts. Here we do critique. This is where you send your images in, and a second set of eyes takes a look at those images and tries to help you find ways that you can improve the quality of your work. Regardless of whether you're just beginning your love affair with photography or whether you've been like me in love with it for 50 years, there's always room to find new places to grow and develop. Let's get over to the broadcast and take a look at some of those images. Okay, stand by. Enoch Purnell, you're kind of rocking it on this one, Enoch. I like it. I like the head toss. The pose is nice. Lighting is strong. Everything is good about it. The only thing I see right here is in the upper camera left, there's a camera flare coming in from that kicker light that's illuminating the back of her hair. You got to handle this with one of three ways. Either it's going to be a grid, which will block the light from coming directly towards the camera but still illuminate the subject. Barn doors, which are a little more difficult to operate with in this close of an environment, or a gobo or flag that is a separate dark sheet of material, cardboard, or an actual physical you pay for Matthews or Mo Richards or something like that flag that will block the light from the light coming into the camera. And that could be at different distances. It could be close, or it could be just close to the camera. You can bring that right up, that flag right up next to the camera, and you could use a V-flat for that matter, as long as it's not in the lens, where the lens is. Look through the camera. When you can't see the light, then that's a good distance to put it, and that will help that out immensely. And it's not that bad in this one here. It can flare. Whatever lens you're using didn't flare, so that's a good thing. Just keep that in mind. A gobo, a flag, or barn doors. 𝐦𝐤𝐤𝐤, interesting image. Lots of feel to it. One of the people made a comment about retouching the armpit area. I think that would help out a lot. I personally would like to see a little more fill light in there. That's just my own personal feel, but I like what you're trying to do, and I like the feel of it. You got a good lighting angle. It is difficult to pull off a camera angle when working on a female model when you're lower than the face. You are pulling this one off to a degree. I think you may want to consider raising the camera angle a little bit, but that's, again, those are all aesthetic values. Your exposure is where it needs to be, and you didn't crop off the elbow. You got close, but you didn't crop off the elbow. Okay, Diana Rutger, girl, you just really are out there pushing it. I have to commend Diana because she tries everything. She pushes the envelope constantly. She is always experimenting on new stuff, and this is light painting, and you pulled it off. I mean, like, I love the little light circle back here on the tree, and the little light circle over there, and the time of day, and then it must have been four pops, maybe 6, that you did with your strobes, but nice. Everything, composition is strong. Very nice image, Diana. Congratulations. Okay, Daryl Jarman, and Daryl stepped out of his normal studio photographer and moved into editorial, and so we are looking at editorial and commercial, and nice. All the lines are straight, which is something that I'm always looking at. At least I believe they are. They look straight to me. It's a little difficult. There is some perspective change because you're down looking up. You can stretch that a little bit with transform, or I own a PC lens, a parallax correction lens, and a shift lens, and it's really cool for that. It would just keep those lines perfectly straight. But well done. I love the feel of it. I love the composition. I kind of would like to see a little more space camera left. Just pull that scaffolding off the edge of the page just a little bit. And that would, I mean, I know you're dropping the guys right in there on that 1/3 compositional line, and that's strong. But I just wonder if there's just a little bit more sky on the other side. But still, I really like the way it's done. I've done some construction photography like that, and it's an interesting and challenging thing because you're working with a high noon time of day usually, and you got it. You carried it off well. And now you're back in your element doing portrait. This is again Daryl Jarman, and love the expression. The lighting is great. The pose is strong. Everything is nice about it. A little bit bright on this back column, but since you are using available light, there's not much you can do to tone down that column at all because you're stuck with either overexposing her or and to drop that column down. So you did the best you could with it. You placed her in a really strong position. You did crop her through her kneecap, and you know, it'd been a little bit better if you could have dropped down and got the calf, got middle of calf. I think that would have helped out, refined it a little bit more. But you know, Daryl's an excellent photographer, so you know, I make my comments just simply as a fellow photographer sharing an opinion. And Charles McLean. Okay, Charles, nice model, interesting surroundings. They all kind of work together. I wonder if you could not have pulled her off of the bamboo a little bit more and angled her a little more against the yellow. I think that because there's a lot of stuff going on there in the background, so she kind of gets lost over here, and you would see her with the, I like the way this whole side is separating here. Your exposure is dead on the money. Skin tones look fabulous. Her pose is fine. So it's just refining the background a little bit. And I know you're probably just searching for places to photograph when you have a model and you're in a location, so you look for the best you can get, and this very well may have been the best, but it's well done. It's executed well. Thanks, Charles. And here's Charles McLean one more time. And I love the idea, the bride in the mirror. That's great. There are I don't know how. I think I would have got her. You may have just been grabbing the photograph as it happened, but this bottle in her hand of lotion or whatever it is, I don't think it adds anything to the bridal image. Now I like the mirror, I like the light in there, and then I am assuming this is the bouquet. It is out of focus. Get it out of the shot. It would be better if she was holding it and not the bottle. And you just have to direct them to do that. Hey, you look at it and it comes up, man, that's a great shot. Let's just do this, you know, and take a couple of minutes and say, here, let me take that bottle and put it over here and grab a hold of the bouquet and hold it right there, and then look there and think beautiful thoughts. But I commend you for thinking and seeing something unusual and working with it. Okay, now I'm going to butcher this name. I believe it's Benoit. It's B-I-N-A-U-X. I believe it's Benoit Lenore. So if I butchered your name, please talk to 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐤. I've been butchering his name for years. But interesting photograph. This one works. It can be a struggle, but it works on this one. With the pose and the look, this kneecap coming directly into the camera is a little rough. I think I would have gone for a more of a turn of her torso so that that knee was not pointed directly into the camera. That keeps that knee from looking bigger than her head, because you're looking, you know, it's closest to the camera. Same principle as Gary Duncan and the golf clubs. That golf club looked huge because of how close it was to the camera. So change that position a little bit, and that will strengthen it up. But your exposure is on, and skin tones look good. This one shows just exactly what I'm talking about. You have the thigh going across camera angle, so the thigh and the calf all look good, and she looks fine. You know, what can I say? There you go. All right, Al Cabrera, and once again, Al, you're just like doing it, man. You got the lighting right on her, and it's got to be artificial light. You got to be throwing a light in there, a light source in there. You got the groom here in the back in the mirror, which is really a nice touch. She's exposed. She's got a great Rembrandt, loop to Rembrandt right on the borderline between the two, but a nice light pattern on her face. It's showing up very well in the mirror. The bouquet, the groom, the mirror or window, whatever it is, it's a mirror. Well done all the way around. The only thing I would say is I would like to see more of her body here. I would like to see her entire body rather than just a portion. I know that this is the portion of the photograph you're after, but I just think that it'd be really cool if we could see her and her shoulder and her train back here, and have it cropped a little lower so you're not nipping into the mirror, but bring it down a little bit lower. I think that that would have added quite a little bit to it, but man, you sure can bang out those exposures with available and artificial light. You got that wired. Congratulations. Okay, Willie Demetrius Richardson. For a available light, no artificial light added, this is about as good as you can do. The challenge here is that the model begins to disappear into the dark background. Her skin tones are fine, but her hair and head begin to disappear into the background. The other thing that I don't think is helping, although I understand why you did it, is this rock or plant or whatever it is here in the foreground that's out of focus. I know that you were trying to demonstrate depth of field with the foreground, midground, and background, but because this is a blob that you don't know what it is, it's just a blob that's blocking her legs and taking up the lower third of the image, I don't think it adds anything to the image, so you can remove it. It literally takes her off at the kneecap. It amputates her at the knee. And you would want to you could maybe move the camera right a little bit and get the same shot without this in the scene. So take that into consideration, you know, whatever you decide to do, but, you know, just think about it. Okay, here we go. And again, same maker, Willie Demetrius Richardson. And here you've got the whole model in. Looks like she's changed outfits. It's an interesting environment, and you're working with it with available light. This is the best you could do. I would like to get some reflectors in there to get a little more light into her, but it has a nice feel to it, and yeah, it has a nice feel to it. I'd probably like to get a little more upper torso turned towards the camera, so that this shoulder and everything, this back shoulder up here, doesn't look quite as out of form. You can see the full form figure. Just have her rotate her shoulder forward or turn her torso a little more towards the camera. I think that'd help out a little bit, but still,